Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to show you how to change your water pump on a 80 series, I believe it's a Kenmore washer. So this is the water pump. I ordered this online from Walmart for I believe $17. Just got it in. Some things you can check on this before you start going too far is you can plug one of these holes and blow in the other one, and then kind of like turn this a little bit. You shouldn't have any air leaks. That'll tell you got a nice tight seal, because if it's going to leak, it usually leaks right around this area. It could leak on the side, but that'd be really rare because it's kind of like glued together and plastic molded like that. But this is usually where it fails, right in here. So anyways, after doing that, verifying your new part, like that the centerpiece will spin, you should be good to go to start with your repair. Again, this is going to be for a Kenmore 80 series upright washing machine. First thing to do is gather your tools you're going to need. You're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, and something to compress some hose clamps with. And then you want to make sure you unplug a washing machine before you start. You can leave your washing machine in place, and you'll see that as we go along. And on this particular model, these clips come off. You just kind of pull on them, set that aside, pull on this one, and then you take your Phillips screwdriver, and there's a Phillips screw right in there. I'm just going to take that out and set those aside. Okay, your next step is you're just going to reach over here and gently pull this forward. You do this on both sides with two hands. Just have one. So you got to kind of do like that. And I wouldn't recommend grabbing it from there, but again, if you have two hands, you just grab it from both ends and just lift up. And the reason why you want to do that is because the clips have little grooves cut out that fit in those little slots back there. So now I'm just going to lift this and rotate it back. And these little clips are kind of holding that on right there. Sometimes, see, like this slid up a little bit. You can push that down if you want. Next, I'm going to remove this clip here. I'm going to use two hands to do it. Just kind of like lift it up. And yeah, I'm going to do it with two hands there. And then I'll show you what I do after that. Okay, all I did for that was I just took my screwdriver, gently put underneath the lip there, and pry it up a little bit and pop that out. Next, you need to pop these clips, and these will fly out a little bit. What this is doing is separating the front of the cover from the back. And you just take your flathead screwdriver, put it down inside the clip area, and you press back. And it pops out. So I'm going to do that again over here. Just put it in, whoops, and get it in there, press back on the top of the screwdriver. There, it popped out. Now you can just take these clips, they just come right off, come right off, and set them to the side. Then just lift up, it comes right out. And you basically have the front of the washer disconnected from the back at this point. I'm just going to clear my tools off here and then lift up the front of this. Okay, so I'm ready. You basically want to clear the area in front of your washing machine. And then I'm just putting my hand right here and giving it a pull, and you can see it just slides right up. That lifts the back up. And then what I'm going to do is after I tilt it, I'm going to have to do this with two hands, so I'm going to put it back down. But that's all you do is I'm just going to tilt this back and then pull it out. And I'll show you what it looks like when I do it, but I need two hands. Alright, that was super easy. All I did is, again, I just tilted the front. Here it is already out. I just basically lifted off the back end here, which was back there, lifted it up, and then pulled the whole thing forward. And you're going to need a space, basically the size of the washer to slide this out. You want it to clear. So now I'm just going to pull this towards this way to get it out of the way, and that'll give me access to the water pump down there. And I'm like already halfway done to this, so all I'm going to do is get this piece out of the way, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, in this next step, you're going to want to make sure you got your pliers ready. and take a look at your pump. The larger tube's going to go on top, and you verify that your larger tube's here, smaller one on the bottom. It's just got these clips here, and you just want to like do a side-by-side comparison, make sure you get the right part and it looks like it'll all fit and everything. And have yourself a towel ready, because a lot of water is going to come out here. These clips, you should wear gloves when you're doing this. You just lift up on there, that clips out. You can twist it 90 degrees and it'll come right out if you want. I'm going to put it back in, so I'll have it ready so I can put the new one in. I'm going to just pop the bottom one out, and that's how easy it is to get the pump loose. Now, as I'm going to do is I'm going to use two hands. I'm going to take my pliers. You just know how to use pliers. You just squeeze this and then rotate it up, and I'll move these clips out of the way. A lot of water is probably going to come out of here. That's why you want to have your towel ready to go. Alright, I got my old water pump out. Again, I just use the clamps or the pliers, squeeze these, get these far enough back, rotate a little bit with the pliers here. Don't want to tear this. That'll make it a harder job if you rip that hose. And then remove your pump. Now all I'm going to do is reattach this on there. Just going to put it back in the hose. A little trick you might want to try, you could spray some silicone on there if you have some trouble getting this hose on. I'm just going to do it without it. And anyhow, you can basically just put that on there, and then I'm going to put the clamp back on, and I'll show you after that's done. Okay, I got it all put back together. A couple of tips. Of course, you want to make sure your clamps are good. Make sure this is all the way against these little tabs that hold it, kind of a stop for your hose to go on. And then I just put my clips on. So this has got a little offset. So what I'd recommend doing is take the shaft of the pump. You can't see it because I got it on, and turn it so it goes straight up and down. And then on your new water pump, do the same thing. Turn that shaft so it's pointing straight up and down. And then you can just push that on there. It'll fit. Everything line up. And then you just push your clamps on, make sure they're in all the way. They just go past that lip. You're pretty much done at this point. You should really test it out, make sure it's not leaking. But I'm confident it's not going to leak. So I'm just going to reverse the process. I'm going to tilt that the housing there, put it back on, and just tilt it forward. And there's some little tabs. You can't see them in the back. Yeah, it's pretty dirty back there. You can't see it. There's just some little groove tabs that stick up on the back of this, back that way. And there's on here, there's a little square slot cut out. And so you tilt the machine forward to get it under this lip here. And you shove it back, and then you just drop it in place and get it to line up. And I'll show you. You almost just got to try to do it, but it's not rocket science. I'll show you what it looks like after I get that hooked on. Okay, again, all I do is I tilt this, the front of this back the way I took it off. Kind of just push it in till it flushes out, and then I drop the back down. I can't really see back there, but I'm confident it's in the little notches, but not 100% confident. Some things you can kind of look at is, it kind of lines up right in the center of this. I guess if you have this flashlight, you might be able to look down there in those holes and see the little metal posts are sticking up at the bottom of this piece. But if I look at this side, it's pretty much in the center of that also. And so next, I'm just going to put my clips on. Just slide that in there like that. And then do this to this other side also. Sorry, lighting's so bad in that corner there. Then you get your flathead screwdriver. And if you look at the side of the clip, you can kind of see what you're doing here. Right there's a little bevel. Basically, that bevel's gonna hold that. It's gonna hold that clip in. I don't know if I can do this one-handed, but I'm gonna give it a try. Okay, all I did was press on the front of this. That helped push it on the back. And then you just put your screwdriver in here. and I use two hands. I just put that in there and just kind of, one hand held the screwdriver, another one I patted it on the top and just popped that in. Did that to both sides. Next, you're gonna just take your plug, clip it back in. Also, I forgot to mention, grab the back of this and pull it towards you, and there's like clips down there that'll help clip this, because sometimes this will come loose. The back will come loose from this as it's supposed to, but sometimes it'll kind of fall back. So you might want to pull that forward, and you'll feel it clip in before you start that. And you want to make sure these clips are all the way down. There's one there and one there. And then you just, and again, here's a kind of a good shot of that. You can see the, let me try zooming in on that for you. See that little cutout right there? That's what I'm talking about when I say those have to go down in those little holes right there. So I'm just going to drop this down. And it feels like I got some wires caught. I might do that with, I need to get that with two hands. Not sure what's catching there. But I'm going to put this down. It's probably binding on the wire right there. But I'm going to do that two hands. I'm just going to line that up, drop it down, and then push it back, and then that'll seat this on. Be right back. Alright, so all I did is drop that down and then press that back. Next, I'm just going to take my Phillips screws. You just drop them in there. Get your screwdriver. Put that in. And I'm not going to make you watch that. I'm going to do that on both sides. Be right back. Alright, at this point, I just finished putting the screws in on both sides there. Take your little, see, these got little wedges on them. Just place that up there. Clip that in. Same with this side. Flat part on top. Kind of tricky doing one hand, but. And the last thing you gotta do, make sure you get your tools out of the way. Plug it in. And then test it out. That's pretty much all I'm going to do now, is just run a load of laundry through and make sure it doesn't leak down there. But that's all there is to replacing a water pump on a Kenmore 80 series upright washer. Hope you like this video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, and if you subscribe, you'll see more videos as they come out. Thank you for watching.